Redheaded stepchild. Everybody knows what I'm talking about when I say that. It's that uncle that gets a little too drunk at the party and embarrasses you, or that little cousin that you don't want to take anywhere because they're just a terror. It's that family member that is part of the family and you love them, but it's hard to admit they're part of the family. That is my career field, the ammunition systems career field, and how the rest of the Air Force views us. My career field, ammunition systems career field, is made up of two sections that I'm going to talk about today, the material and production. And then there's multiple elements within each of those sections that make up the section and help the section accomplish the Air Force mission. I will talk about a couple of those elements today. Hopefully by the end of this speech you'll have a better understanding of what my career field does and how it helps accomplish the Air Force mission. Now, before we talk about the elements, we need to talk about those two sections. So the first section is material. Now the material section has vast responsibilities when it comes to munitions. They're in charge of all the receiving of munitions that come from every base around the world. So they receive all the munitions, bring them into the bomb dump, then they inspect all the munitions, make sure they're good to go, and they store and maintain. Now, this is a continuous cycle because they have to inspect these munitions every so often. They're on a specific inspection cycle. The second section in the munition systems career field is production. Now, production is the more hands-on with the rest of the Air Force. This is what the rest of the Air Force sees. These are the guys that once a order is called down for munitions, they build up the munitions, they assemble all the components together, and then they help deliver them to the flight line, to the aircraft so they can be loaded up on the aircraft. So without these two sections working together, there would be no munitions on the fight line, and the Air Force aircraft would have no munitions, which would make war much harder without the bombs. Now that we have a better understanding of each major section in my career field, the munition systems career field, I want to talk about the specific elements within each one. Now the first specific element I want to talk about is from the production section, and it is precision guided munitions. Now the precision guided munitions section is responsible for all the missiles, air-to-air and air-to-ground, in the inventory, and they take care of maintaining, inspecting, and delivering to the flight line. The other section that I would like to talk about is the other element that I would like to talk about is the accountability element within the material section. Now, the accountability element is in charge of all of the inventories and maintaining accountability for all the munitions in the stockpile. Now that you have a better understanding of the munition systems career field, I'd like to review a few key points that we went over. I talked about today my career field and how we are an integral part of the Air Force, and without us it would be very impossible to get the mission accomplished. I talked about the two major sections of my career field, the material section, which is in charge of storing and maintaining, and the production section, which is in charge of actual assembly and delivery of the munitions. And then I went a little further into each section and talked about the precision guided munitions element, which takes care of all the missiles, and the accountability element, which is in charge of all of the inventories for the munitions in the storage area. I thank you for your time, and I hope you have a better understanding of my career field and our impact on the Air Force mission. Thank you. Have a good day.